You know, more and more people keep reaching out and saying, Unstoppable, the recap idea that you came up with is an awesome idea, because I am now discovering shows that I didn't even know was on the platform. Well, not to worry, because I'm going to keep the recaps coming. Just like right now, that is why I am on your screen to bring you another recap of a live show that was shared on Unstoppable Live. And this lady right here, she considers her husband to be the ultimate cheater. Well, maybe I shouldn't say her husband, because they're probably not together anymore. But if you want to find out, take a listen to this one that was shared on Unstoppable Live, and you'll find out what happened in this story that was shared on Unstoppable Live. Alright, so if you want to take a listen to the rest of what was shared, you know what to do already. Click the link that's in the description. It will take you on over to Unstoppable Live, where you can listen to the rest of the story in its entirety. And when you go over there, make sure that you hit the subscribe button over there as well, and turn on all notifications so that you can participate in the live shows Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Alright, so you can call in, share your opinion, share your views, and be a part of the topic. Alright, don't forget to turn on the subscription. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right here too, because you want to be there once we drop another recap. Until the next Unstoppable recap, stay strong, stay motivated, but most of all, remain unstoppable. So it's time for another one. The stories has been coming, and I meant I'm just going hard. Me nah stop none at all. I'm just keeping them coming for you. And today I'm bringing you another one. Now, since we've been dropping the recaps, you've heard all different types of stories, you know, spanning from all different type of topics. Now, today we're going to listen to a lady who is talking about, you know, how she was molested from a tender age, right? And she told us about some of the things that she had to do to try and prevent this predator from violating her. You know, yes, the sad thing about this is we hear these stories, and it just breaks our hearts more and more and more each time we hear them. And the reason why it breaks my heart to the extent that it does is because I know that this is something that is currently happening. As I'm sitting here speaking to you right now, there is a young innocent victim being preyed on by a predator. And that is why, you know, speaking out is very much important. You know, exposing these predators is very much important. Family, take a listen to what this lady shared on Unstoppable Live.
So, at a young age, I was kind of like an orphan. Not that my mom was dead or my dad was dead, but my mom migrated as I was a young child, and my dad was always working away, so he was unable to take care of me like that. I would see him maybe like every month, but I was always entrusted to other people, friends, family members, quote unquote, reliable people. However, while I was staying with, I think it was a family friend to my dad or my mom, whoever, I was staying with that person, and the first person that did this to me was related to that person. But the thing was, I remember this clearly because I was 5 years old. And how I remember that I was 5 years old, the person, like his aunt, his mom, I don't really know like the connection like that. But she was also an abuser, not in that type of way, but you know, and she would say, "He's a big girl. You're 5 years old. You must can do this. You must can do that." So that's how I remember that I was 5 years old. I was literally molested I don't mean touched. I don't mean fondled. I was penetrated at 5 years old. And that went on for like as long as I was staying with them. I don't know how to tell you how long it was, but it went on for several times while I was staying with them. Now that I'm older, in my estimation, that person must have been in his early 20s. Now that I'm looking back, that person must have been in his early 20s that first molested me. When I was 9 years old, there was like a sister and a brother that lived next door. The sister would always call me to come over to her house. And I would go over there, and she knew exactly what was going to happen to me. These people were like maybe 24, 23, 24, 25. And she would always call me over to her house. And then she would leave, and then her brother would molest me. He would molest me. He would, excuse me. He even went as far as to have oral sex with me at 9 years old. Now, imagine at 9 years old, you start to have feelings for people. You're a child. You're being robbed of your childhood. But you're having feelings because of what the person is doing to you. So this would go on and on and on. I don't know, maybe every day for a while until I leave there. When I was 10 years old, I passed my common entrance. So my mom and my dad decided that I should, quote unquote, go and live with my aunt, who is they were supposed to be the best person for me because the husband was a pastor and she was an evangelist in the church. I'm gonna paint like a picture of how the house was, so maybe you can just like imagine, how it was. First, the first house was like a boarded house, and then they built like the brick house to it. So in between that house was a window. I don't know, it's a window that had the split up the middle, and then you could push it open. You could, push it open. This man, who is supposed to be a pastor and who is supposed to be my protector, he's also my uncle by marriage. He was married to my aunt. He used to come up because my bed was right under that window. He used to come every night, push the window open, put his hands in my underwear, put his hand where my breast is supposed to be, and put his hand in my underwear and fondle me. This was going on and on. He used to smoke cigars, so I could always like smell that cigar, and his big hands like all over my body. So I was a little rebellious at this time. So one night I put like a hammer under my pillow I try to sleep in a shorts. And he would say, oh, not like the following day, he would all talk about the girls that's coming to church and they wearing shorts under their clothes. And he's supposed to be preaching and talking all this crap. But when I put a shorts under my clothes, then he couldn't. It limited his access to fondling me. So one night he came, I had on my shorts, pushing his hands in my, trying to put his hands in my underwear. And I give him one lick on him on with the hammer. Because I waited for him with the hammer, even though I was just 10. I gave him one lick on him on with the hammer. And so the first time I heard the word arthritis was from him. Because the following day he had to wrap his hand with a t-shirt. And they were asking him, Pastor so-and-so, what's wrong with your hand? What's wrong with your hand? And he said he had arthritis. Now for that, I was punished by him. Because he wouldn't like, when they cook, he wouldn't like share a plate of food for me. I was treated so badly. I was treated so badly after that. But I had one cousin was older than me that she was there. She was there for me, and she used to share her food with me. She was the only one that showed me love when I was younger. I've never heard I love you. I've never heard anything like that. I was emotionally, mentally, and physically abused like all my young life. Never had I really never had a childhood. I was robbed of my innocence. I never had a childhood. Never had a childhood. I was never given the opportunity to say I'm a virgin, and I gave my virginity to someone. It was taken from me as a child, and that messed me up. That really messed me up mentally, my relationship with people, my relationship with men, my relationship with even my family. It messed me up. You know, my dad, he never molested me. But the way how I was in my mind, or my mind was messed up, whenever my dad would come and he would take me to his house, to where he lived, I was expecting my dad to have sex with me. Because that's how my mind was. After this quote unquote pastor, there were other people, but the pastor stood out the most, because even though he never penetrated me, he was supposed to be a pastor, and he was supposed to be the person that everyone trusted the most. I'm talking and I'm shaking because I'm still so angry. I never got a chance to confront him because he died before I could confront him. He died before I could get to say anything to him. And I was so angry. I felt like I wanted to go to his grave and step in his face in the grave because he totally violated Shen to say, oh, they were living a life. And and the thing is, he had all this respect. Everyone respected this person because he was supposed to be, quote unquote, this big time pastor in Jamaica. And so everyone respected him. I passed my common entrance at 10 years old to go to a very prominent high school in Jamaica. And he would send me to school whenever I got kicked out of that school. Then I went to another school, another good school, and I got kicked out of the school again for poor attendance. I had no one to turn to. There was no one to tell of what's happening to me. And today, even though so much has happened to me, I still look at myself as being fortunate and blessed. Because when I look at girls that all go missing, all went missing, some people they found their body and some people they haven't found their body. I always say that could have easily been me. It could have easily been me. There are a lot of monsters out there that take advantage of children and they don't understand that you are messed up. I became a teenage mom because of this. I went to prison because of this. But I had absolutely no self-esteem because of this. I considered myself like nobody. I became a people pleaser person because of this. Always looking for love because of this. I have grandkids and I have my little grandnieces and stuff like that. And when they're like 5 years old, I'm always looking at them like, this is when it started with me. And when I look, they are so little. They are so innocent looking. And that's when it started with me. Until today, I am fighting a silent battle. You will see me, and I'm also jolly. I'm the life of the party. I'm everything. I'm very kind, loving, giving, but deep down, I'm like a mush. It changed my perspective of like every man. I always joke with my sister and tell her, you know, they better not ever put me on a jury for any molestation or any raping, because as you open your mouth, I'm gonna say, yep, it's true, he's guilty. And that's sad. That is sad. Because even though I've been through it, and I know there's a lot of monsters out there, I know not everyone, not every man is like that. But I'm tainted. My belief is tainted. If I'm walking down the street and I see a little girl coming and she's with a man, a boy, whatever, and she look sad, the first thing that comes to me is, yep, he's molesting her. That is sad. But that's how I think. Because it's not only me. It's not only me. I have a friend that I asked, one day we were talking, right? And my friend said to me she got raped when she was 14. And I said, you got raped? And she said, yes. And I said, I was never raped. But then I said, yeah, I was raped. Maybe not with a gun or a knife, or not with 2 or 3 people at a time, but I was raped. It started at 5. How could I give consent at 5 and 7 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12? How could I give a consent for older grown ass men to be violating my body? How could I do that? Yes, I was raped. I was raped. I never told you yes. So yes, I was raped. And I was raped multiple times.
Now, all right, you mentioned that the pastor passed away,
Yeah,
but the pastor wasn't the only one. What about the other persons who violated you as a child?
yes. I am very angry with the other persons that violated me as a child. I am very, but him, he stood out. He stood out to me more than anyone else. I don't know if it was because he did what he did in the night, and in the day he put on a robe and he's on top of the pulpit and he's preaching, and you have to be living this lie and you have to be swallowing hard. And when he didn't get his way, he would penalize you. You wouldn't get food, you wouldn't go to school and stuff. For some reason, he stood out more than everyone else. Yeah, everyone else was wrong, and I blamed all of them. I dislike all of them, but I dislike him even more.
Yeah, because you expected better of him. You would have expected
Yes,
that because of his role as a pastor, you would have been safe and protected by him. So of course he is going to stand out even more. But the sad truth about this is, and this is not to disrespect the church or any church goers, but the sad truth about this is something that happens a lot in the church,
yes,
where
yes.
pastors abuse even the church members and all, violate the church
Listen,
members. This is something that happens
listen,
commonly, so I can understand why he stands out.
listen. One day, he just finished, I think, giving communion, giving whatever in church. It was a Sunday. Now, I don't get invited to go around the table to eat with, with people, whatever. So my cousin, who is supposed to be his daughter, she's not really his daughter. She's my aunt. She's my other aunt's daughter, but they grew her up since she was little. And so she said, I'm not going to sit at the table if my cousin cannot eat here. So we went to the back room and she shared her food with me. So while we were sitting in the living room, and I think she went to get her take her shower, or she went to do something. Don't you know this man that was in Holy Ghost and fire? He was just in Holy Ghost and fire. He sat, I'm sitting in the corner on a chair, and he's sitting he's sitting across from me. Don't you know this man had a full erection and lift up like he had, like, when people eat, when they're eating and they put that towel thing over their lap so the food won't fall on it. And he lifted up and he had a full erection. He had a full erection. By this time now, I was like 11. Unstoppable. I don't know happiness. I create my own happiness. I'm afraid to feel happy because I keep telling myself if I get happy, then something negative is going to come behind it. people need to stop molesting children because you damage children. Hurt people does hurt things. But you know what I'm happy for? I don't hurt. I am more of a protector because I love kids.
All right, let me ask you another question. Now, I know I asked you if you ever discussed it with anyone, right? But
No,
your mother, where
n-
was she during this whole time? And I know you said she
my
sent you
mother,
to live with these people,
my,
but I mean, couldn't she?
my mother was not in Jamaica. My mother migrated and left us as children. My
Mm.
mother was not in Jamaica, and when I came to the States, I realized why she wasn't coming to Jamaica like that.
After after
You know,
after he passed away, what
yeah.
was he ever exposed for the things that he used to do to little girls? Because you're not the only one. Was it ever
Listen,
exposed?
well, unstoppable. When I started to get when I started to get vocal about the whole thing, I started to ask around, and everybody had a story. It wasn't just me. It was a dirty old dog. Everybody had a story. People got pregnant. Their parents took them for abortions. People got pregnant, like that girl, and had the baby. He was a monster. He was a monster. And then what hurts me the most, he has been set behind the facade of being a pastor. That's what hurts me. And everybody come falling down at his feet. Pastor da 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 da, pastor this, pastor that. You couldn't open your mouth. No one would listen to you. It's not like now when you have a voice and people telling you to speak up, and children can speak up and you have somewhere to go after you speak up. They would have found my body long time. I have no doubt my body would be found a long time ago, like how you see them find the little picnic them at Jamaica all the time. And I know it's not only Jamaicans on the stream, so people gonna say it's not happening only in Jamaica, but I can only speak of Jamaica. That's where it happened to me. That's where it happened to me.
Your neighbors, the neighbor who used to invite you over, um, and allowed her brother to
Her
abuse you.
brother, yeah.
Did you ever have a conversation with this person about it at any point, even years after?
No, because you move away. I don't even remember like the area that the person was living in. As you move away from there, there was simple no stability in my life as a child. No foundation in my life as a child. Because I would live here, I'm assuming, probably 6 months, and then I would move from this person to the next person, another 6 months, and then you understand? So there was really no stability. I cannot tell you which area, I cannot tell you whatever, but I know I remember the name of the sister, and I remember the name of the abuser.
Give us an idea of what your teenage life was like. Now, I know everything that you explained was your very young life, right? Five, six,
Yeah.
coming up to nine. Give us an idea of what your teenage life was like from 13 going up to 18. Did did what happened at your very young age affect you throughout your adolescent years?
Yes, yes, it did. I I had a boyfriend at a young age who became my kid's father. I was a teenage mother at a young age because I was looking for love. And he used to beat me at a young age. And then he would tell me sorry and that he loves me. You are the reason why. But I had no foundation. I have no nothing. So I would believe this person. I would believe this person. My teenage years was nothing. I don't know how to explain it. I was living my life in a fog. I was living my life in a fog. Just going day by day in a daze.
It
It,
caused you to live in fear or not trust men.
yeah.
How do you view men today?
Well, unstoppable. I what did I say? Sometimes I'm angry till me can't angry no more. Sometimes 8, 9, and 10 man easy. Me easy to fall out of love with you. Me not like you in a minute. I don't like you. As soon as you quit, me not like you. And what I realized too with me, if I have a man and the man no want me, yep, the man no want me. Other man the me want and him don't want me. Yeah, him me want. Him would do anything for him come and him me want. But the person that want me not like him. I feel like him an idiot for some what? I feel like I'm not worthy of somebody loving me. I don't know. I'm just messed up.
This is a serious
I'm
question
just
that I'm going to ask you right now. Um,
yeah,
your kids,
yeah.
did you ever have a discussion with them about what happened in your past, or is it something that you kept from them?
No, no.
You kept it from them?
I, yeah. I have a sister that we are close, and she's the only one that got just a little piece, nothing in depth. Your audience is the one that is getting the in depth situation. I would just hint to her, but I've never gone into depth like dig into it and tell you this and no. I've never said it to my children. No.
Have you ever seeked any kind of counseling of any sort throughout the years?
No.
You didn't think that it was needed, or you still don't think it's needed? What do you
I
think?
think it's needed, but what I did was I push it way down and continue to live my life, but things will happen that trigger. For instance, there was something that happened to some kids, but these were boys, and did want it. Them did want it, and I said, kids, I got what an adult is doing to that to them. How can a child believe them? People keep telling them, you're liar, you're lying. How comes it only happened to you? Yep, you will have 10 of us, and it only happened to me. That don't mean it's a lie. It happens. I guess the abuser know who to target. Another thing is unstoppable and the audience. When people leave their children with people, I have to say Jamaica. If they are not beating you excessively, them not feeding you, that you're treated badly. These people, those people then, I don't know for now, but those people then, they had no love in their heart for you. If you're not their child, whether you're blood related or not, they don't like you. Them uncle love up for them picnic and them don't treat you good. They don't treat you good.
Okay,
This
no,
same person,
I know that you're a hardworking woman right now. You've been through a lot in
yeah.
your life. At what
Mm-hmm,
point did you, because I know you said you had low self-esteem, you didn't
mm-hmm.
respect yourself, you didn't value yourself. At what point in your life did you realize your worth and decide, listen, I'm not going to go down the path of becoming a prostitute because of what happened in my past. I'm not going to be out there selling my body or just moving from men to men because of. At what point in your life did you realize your self worth?
Well, even though I had a low self-esteem, I didn't I wasn't I was always looking for love. So thank God that even though I have a self-esteem issue, I might choose the wrong partner, but I would never have like sleep with somebody this morning and then somebody in the evening and then was always looking for that one person, wrong or right, but that's the one person I would I would seek out that one person to love. And one thing too, I never turn my nose up on anyone because you don't know their story. You don't know their silent battle. You don't know what they have been through. Some people that have been through what I've been through, they turn to prostitution, they turn to drugs, they turn to other stuff. But me, God kept me. I'm always trying to be better and to do better. It not always work out, but I always try. Can I go back to just go back to the pastor one bit?
Yeah, man, go right ahead. Do you think?
Okay. So after I hit him on his hand with the hammer, he put me on the veranda to sleep. The cold veranda. Him no want me to sleep no more in the room where him have easy access to me. Because I guess if he couldn't fondle me, he put me out on the cold tile at the veranda to sleep.
All right, family. So the story didn't end right there, but I just decided to cut it because, like I said, this is the recap. So if you want to listen to the rest of what was shared, you can click the link in the description. It will take you on over to Unstoppable Live, where you can listen to the story in its entirety. Please, once you go on over there, hit the subscribe button and make sure to turn on all notifications so that when we go live on Unstoppable Live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you can be a part of the live stream to participate, call in, give your feedback, your takes, and opinions on the topic that you're listening to at the time. Also, remember to hit the subscribe button right here so that once we upload another recap, you don't miss it. Alright? Until the next Unstoppable recap, stay strong, stay motivated, but most of all, remain unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Unstoppable youth. Unstoppable youth.